You've been posting on Instagram wrong this whole time. I've seen it firsthand working with hundreds of clothing brands. They make the same mistakes that tank engagement and scare off buyers. So in this video, I'm going to show you the 7 Instagram mistakes every small clothing brand makes and the easy fixes that actually get results. Mistake number 1. Now, on this surface, this brand looks quite successful. You've got the followers, the products look good, and the images are really high quality. But there's one mistake that could cost you everything, and it's posting too much of your products. But why is this a problem? Well, let me make this simple with a story. There once were 2 men. One built his house on a rock, and another built his house on the sand. Don't ask me why they're building houses and on these materials, but a storm came, and the one who built his house on the sand saw it all fall away. But the man who built his house on the rock, it stood tall in the middle of the storm. But what does that actually mean for you? Well, posting products and only products is like building your house on sand. On a sunny day when it works, it's fine. But when the trends go out with the tide, so does your brand. So instead, it's better to build your brand on something that doesn't come and go, like a message or a shared purpose that's always true. But how do you do that? Well, step 1 is to figure out what your message is. And the easiest way to think about it is, what do you want your clothes to stand for overall? It could be about becoming a better person every day or creativity. I see that in your bio, you have the tagline, explore the unknown, and that's perfect. Step 2 then is to find the people in your community that already buy into your message, and they can help you shape the content that you create later on. And by the looks of it, you've already been working with these people before, so I would just start there and hit them up again. Step 3, create content with these people about your message. For example, I would start a new series about what it means to explore the unknown. You could ask them questions and capture the daily ways in which your community do exactly that. And then finally, and this is the fun bit, you integrate your products into the content. So in every video, someone is exploring the unknown while wearing your clothes. And over time, people will begin to associate that idea or tagline with the products that you sell. But this next mistake is the number 1 reason why brands aren't getting views, and it's because their niche is too broad. Like, take this brand for example. Right now, your bio says premium streetwear brand, but here's the problem. There's a million other streetwear brands, and nothing about being premium makes you stand out. It's a lot like trying to shout in a stadium with a million other voices. And sure, there's lots of people there, but no one can actually hear you. And on the other hand, if you walk into a small room and talk, sure, there's less people to hear you, but suddenly everyone's listening. And it's the same with your niche. The broader it is, streetwear or activewear, even premium streetwear, the less reason people have to follow or buy from you. The more specific, the more likely people are to buy from you. So how can you solve this problem and niche down? Step 1, since you've already got a pretty decent following, it's probably safe to say that you've made some sales. So I would start by finding the social media accounts of your top 3 customers. Step 2, look at all of their posts and write down any observations you make about the kind of people that they are. So personality traits, interests, who do they follow? What people are following them? And then step 3, once you've done that for each person, copy your findings into ChatGPT and ask it to spot patterns or common traits between each person. And then you just pick the one that resonates with you the most and make that the focus of your brand. And this is your niche. But when most brands finally get their niche right, they usually go too far the other way and become a theme page. Check out this brand, for example. They post niche-specific content like quotes and Bible verses that relate to the brand's Christian lifestyle. But we don't see their products until they post something like this, and then we only see their products and it has nothing to do with their lifestyle. And this way of posting content is much like those meme pages from 2015. You follow them for the memes, but then random dropshipping ads started showing up. And so you either tolerated it or you unfollowed because the page became something that you didn't expect. And so if you post only lifestyle content and then you have products over here, those kind of brands run into much the same problem because you can't draw people in with value content then to suddenly switch to random products. People unfollow. But the good news for you is that the solution is simple, and it's by creating posts that always mix value and product together. And here's how. Always include people in your value posts. So instead of posting empty landscapes with quotes on top, show people living the lifestyle while wearing your product. And for you, this might be praying or reading the Bible with friends or worshiping. These These are all actions that your subjects can be doing in your photos to reflect the brand message. You can even take this a step further by making reels instead. All you do is overlay your text on top of a video and you'll have something that looks a little like this. These kind of videos can go super viral and it acts as an ad for your clothing at the same time. But this next mistake is arguably even worse because it stops clothing brands from building a community at all. Because when scrolling on this brand's page, the only face I see is of the founder. And it's not that showing your face is bad, but if every post is just you, this is not a community, it's a personal brand. Like, let's take one of the strongest fashion communities ever, for example. Nike. Their community is so strong that many people refuse to wear Adidas or Asics. And here's the key difference. Every post on Nike's page features someone else, a different athlete, a different face, a different gender. And so how do you do that if you don't have Nike's budget? Well, you start with the people you already know and recreate your current content with them instead of just yourself. Like this video, for example.
Why are you stressed by the little inconveniences of life, knowing that you have the same God that rose Jesus from the dead, the same God that gave Jesus everlasting peace in the situation where peace seemed unattainable?
You could get a few of your friends to share their thoughts on the same topic as you did here, and now you've got a bunch of videos instead of just one. What a bonus. And then when you share it, post it as a collab so it shows up on both accounts and it doubles your reach. And this way you can expand your community into other like-minded circles. And that's called a movement. Mistake number 5. This fashion film got 600,000 views, but this one got 1,000. And the difference between them is the same mistake that so many brands make with their fashion films. It's costing them thousands of dollars and hours every time they drop. So let's watch the video now and see if you can spot the mistake before I reveal it.
It's just you tonight?
No, there's meant to be 2 of us.
Hey, sorry I'm late.
Better late than never.
Yeah, I was... Doesn't matter.
So here's the big mistake in case you missed it. They're making the film as if it were going to be played on the big screen, not on Instagram. And so here are 3 specific things that you can do so you don't accidentally make the same mistake and stop your video from performing. The first of which is to film in portrait, not landscape. And so removing these horrible black bars on the top and the bottom won't make your video instantly viral, but it will stop people from scrolling past because you ignored the platform's best practices. Because if we look at the viral fashion film, theirs looks like it actually belongs on Instagram. But this next tip really does have the potential to make your video viral, and it's to edit with the hook in mind. When your film begins, we see fairly static shots with not much happening. It goes back and forth, and by the time I get the point, I've already scrolled past. Instead, start right in the middle of the action. In fact, I can make a few simple edits to this video to reorder it, and I think it'll already perform better. Take a look and tell me what you think. I mean, weren't you more engaged? All that part in the beginning where they're just walking up and the waiter greets the table is unnecessary and it adds absolutely zero to the story. All it means is that your viewers never get to the part where you actually reveal the product. Now, the final issue is that your film is just too long and it feels like it's repeating itself. What I didn't show you before was that this was actually 3 in 1. So in the same video, there were another 2 scenes where different people are drooling over the product. But you could very easily separate these and post them as their own videos, and instantly, just by sheer volume, you've increased your chances of virality. But if you make the mistake of posting low quality content like this next brand, it could mean the difference between a sellout and no sales at all. And before I show you some simple tricks to instantly improve the look of your page, I must give credit where credit is due. The products look like you put a lot of time and effort into them, but as is is often the case with someone that puts so much into design, the social media is lacking, and the posts end up looking like this. And the issue here is actually bigger than it seems, because think of your Instagram page like a store. In a physical store, customers can feel the products and touch the materials and judge the quality. On Instagram, they can't. It's all virtual, and so the quality is communicated through your content. If your page is messy and unpolished, it's like walking into a store where clothes are thrown across the floor. And even if the products are good, the presentation turns people away. So how do you fix it? Well, there are 3 easy things that will instantly elevate your content from a 2 to a 7. And the first is to fix your lighting. So let's compare 2 posts on your page. These were both shot with the same phone camera, but one looks significantly better than the other. And what's the difference? It's the lighting. In the poor quality image, your camera is working so hard to balance the dark and the bright areas, and it ends up looking washed out. In the better image, the natural light does most of the work, and so the camera can focus on the sharpness and the detail. So in future, consider where your light source is. As a beginner, don't rely on the room lights or studio lights, just use the sun, and position yourself so the window is behind the camera shining onto the subject, so never shoot with the light behind the subject. The second thing you can do to improve your quality is reduce overcrowding. Less is more. Use fewer fonts and fewer colors, fewer elements in the frame. You need to give everything space to breathe. In many cases, I'd remove the text altogether because this is not a Facebook story from 2017. Number 3, consider hierarchy. Hierarchy is about where your eye is drawn to first. And so you can be intentional. And if you want someone's eyes to be drawn to the subject first, then make sure everything else is smaller and less colorful or less prominent than that subject. And these 3 fixes alone will significantly elevate your quality so you can attract the sales your product deserves. But even with a great camera, it can still go wrong if the product isn't set up properly, and it can cause people to judge your clothing too early. For example, look at this brand. Most of their flat lays look natural and pleasing, and I actually like the style. It's something different, but in some shots, it's taken too far and it looks accidentally bad. Like this one, I'm not even sure if the t-shirt was ironed. And so here's a simple checklist I used before every product shoot, which you can steal, and I call it the 3 L's: lighting, location, and layout. Lighting is the same as before. Use natural light and avoid casting shadows over the product. Location, look at the background. Is it distracting? Does it take attention away from the product? And layout, is the product laid out neatly and attractively? And would you be proud to post it as a representation for your brand? If you run through this checklist every time, your product photos will instantly look more professional and worthy of your brand. And if you can apply these lessons to your brand, you're ahead of 92% of startups. But it's the 8% that really counts and makes the difference between selling a few pieces and selling out. So the video on screen now will show you the proven system I've used to help brands go from a few hundred followers to multi-million view videos and sold out drops. You can go watch it now. Permission to leave. Sounds like I'm the teacher dismissing you from class. Strange.